how about a matchup between an 0-2 and a 2-0 team this week that could go a way that most people wouldn't think?
For sure. So, surprisingly, Baltimore Ravens are 2-0, and I think that just as much of a surprise, you've got Jacksonville coming in at 0-2. That looks to be a pretty solid game. Jacksonville goes back home after traveling across country and getting whooped last week by San Diego. I personally think Jacksonville's going to put a pretty good game, a solid game plan together and get on the winning board this week. Dirk Cannon's got Jacksonville winning 26-16 over the Ravens this weekend.
I like that one a lot. I have to agree with you. I'm taking Jacksonville this week as well. I think at home against this Baltimore team that everybody for the last 2 years is now expected to be good, and they're just kind of proving to us that they're not. I
can't believe they squeaked out a win over Cleveland.
You go down 20 at that point. Yeah. If you're a Browns fan, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's going to be a tough season.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. What else do we got? Game of the week.
Game of the week. Yep, game of the week for us at the Dirk Cannon is actually strong play for local fans again here in Denver. Looks to be Cincinnati and Denver is our closest matchup in terms of simulation and projected outcome.
Okay.
In fact, these two teams are only a point apart from a projected outcome standpoint. Obviously, Von Miller's, pretty much left off right where from last season. Attacking the quarterback, even though you've got DeMarcus Ware that's going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks with that broken arm. Shane Ray looks just fine, filling in for him. He's a young guy. Look for him to play a bigger role this weekend. We talked about A.J. Green, and Wade Phillips certainly likes to play one-on-one on the outside. I don't think he's going to do a ton of that with A.J. Green. I think, if anything, they're going to look to see if Boyd and some of the other wide receivers for Cincinnati can beat him. And really, I think a key component in this game is going to be whether or not Jeremy Hill can get the running game on track for the Bengals. If Denver can shut down Jeremy Hill, this could be a blowout for Denver, quite frankly. But I think it's going to be close. It's in Cincinnati. Denver typically struggles on the road. We'll see what the weather has to bring. Dirk Cannon has this game, Denver 23, Bengals 21.5. So we'll call it 23-21, but it's really a 1.5 different for us. And I tend to agree with Dirk Cannon this week.
I like that a lot also. You got two teams that are stud defenses, solid front lines. They got super athletic, secondaries. And as far as the offensive goes, they're almost a push. So, yeah, I like that. I like that as a close game for sure. All right, well, Jeremy, I know you got a lot going on. I definitely appreciate you calling in and spilling the knowledge on us from the dirtcannon.com. So I'll let you get back to all the things you got going on, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Have a good week. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Jeremy from the dirtcannon.com. After the break, we'll come back. We'll get to a couple more stories in sports. We'll have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, of course, at the end of the show, we'll get real. Hey, guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. The dirtcannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. The dirtcannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with thedirtcannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the silver membership this week for free. Visit thedirtcannon.com. Seriously, check it out. Use the code RDST. You're going to get money off. You're going to get their services. And then on top of that, in your league, you're going to go win some money. So check it out. Here's a team. This team's losing money. If you guys remember, back during OTAs, the Seahawks got in trouble for too many practices, the practice styles they were doing. The league has handed out their punishment finally this week, $400,000 and a loss of a 2017 draft pick. I think it's a 5th round pick, but I couldn't confirm that. But it is a 2017 pick. So they're coming down hard on him. That's a 6-figure fine. It's going to be up there in, the top 10 for sure. Something's going to have to be worked out, in my opinion, in the next collective bargaining agreement. I don't like the way the current practice structure is structured. I think the players would give a little bit on having more physical practices if the preseason was cut down, if more of their money was guaranteed. And it's not like that's not possible from the NFL. They're profiting billions and billions of dollars. It's just about sharing the wealth and not wanting it all for yourself because of the excitement of, it's almost like the lottery effect, right? The owners, these rich owners, still get the lottery effect when their profit checks come in, when they see the zeros on their check. They're still people. Big numbers are still big numbers. Bill Gates still respects what $1 million is. If you give him another $1 million, he's going to be happy about it. If he earns another $1 million, he's going to be happy about it. Just because they have it doesn't mean that they don't, love it as much as us, even though we don't. Think about it. That's what feeds their greed and makes them do what they do. Anyway, let's move on. Big talk this week with all the injuries to running backs, specifically Amir Abdullah, Danny Woodhead, Adrian Peterson. God, I know there's another one that I'm missing. Anyway, Ray Rice. Ray Rice is out there. Apparently there's up to 5 teams that might be interested. Former coaches, former teams he's played for, all being rumored in the talk. The Detroit Lions, I read an article, should Detroit call Ray Rice? Now, I'm a firm believer against domestic violence on any level. Man versus woman, woman versus man, verbal, physical. It's not right. There's other ways to do it. That being said, we have come down on Ray Rice harder because we saw it. And you can't be wishy-washy in your stance on something like this. It can't be, well, I saw Ray Rice do it, so no, he doesn't get another chance. But I didn't see this other football player do it. It didn't have all the media attention because there was no video. So we're going to give these guys, this other group of guys, they get another chance. That can't be how it works. You can't walk both sides of the line and on one side say, no, we don't condone this. But now on this side of the line, because there's no video, he deserves another chance. People make mistakes. People screw up. People are horrible. People do stupid stuff. People can change. Do all people change? No. Do most people change? Probably not. But do some? Yes. Does everybody deserve a chance to prove whether or not they did? I think so. Now, if you fail after you've been given another chance, do you need a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th chance to be given to you? No. At that point, you have to now earn it. You have to start over from the ground up. And if you earn it, great. And if you don't, well, your life was based on your choices. In this instance, I think it's time some team at least brings Ray Rice in for a workout. Face it, he wasn't all that good at the end of his career back there in Baltimore before everything blew up. He was averaging a little over 3 yards a carry. He wasn't as dynamic. He had lost some speed already. And now he's 3 years out of playing. It's not going to be some magic pill and Ray Rice is going to be, the 25-year-old who was tearing the league up. But somebody should give him another chance. Jeremy from the Dirt Cannon had mentioned that DeMarcus Ware is out, but Shane Ray is going to be able to step in. DeMarcus Ware, he's going to be out a few weeks, could be a little longer. They might rest him depending on how the defense is playing, and have him ready down the stretch for sure with his back, and he can still go in the film room. He can still be out in practice. He can help coach from the sideline. He's just not going to be in the games. He went ahead and had surgery on the broken forearm. Good for him. Get right, come back out, help your team. I respect that. I think Shane Ray's going to do just fine. Is he going to be DeMarcus Ware? No, he's Shane Ray. You can't expect him to be with DeMarcus Ware. You can expect him to go out there and do his best and play hard and give it everything he has. You can hope that he doesn't make mistakes. You can cheer for him. You can build him up. And, if you're one of those retarded fans, excuse me, I take that back. The R word is not right. Shouldn't have said that. If you are one of those crazy, maniacal, over-enthusiastic, just in it to be a fangirl fans, and you know who you are, I lost my point when I said the R word. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't have said that. So I'm going to move off that story, and we're going to move on to the next thing. We're going to put it behind us. I'm being real. That was disrespectful. I was wrong. But, yes, I think Shane Ray is going to be able to step in and do just fine. And I don't think that he'll have any problems with that. Jay Cutler. We haven't talked a lot about Jay Cutler on this show. We haven't had a lot of reason to talk about Jay Cutler on this show. Stephen A. Smith has come out this week and basically said that he's an embarrassment and he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. And that got me thinking, is Jay Cutler the worst quarterback in the NFL? Now, we've had a lot of injuries, so there's some backups starting right now. We have rookies starting right now. We have rookies that are going to start this week for the first time. We have journeymen that are going to start this week, especially there in Chicago for Jay Cutler and Brian Hoyer. So is Jay Cutler the worst quarterback? Does he have the worst arm in the NFL? No. He's probably got top 5 arm talent. I would put him in the top 5 as far as arm talent, being able to make the throws on time, with some zip, with some touch, on the run, from the pocket. I put Jay Cutler top 5 arm talent. Is he a good teammate? I don't know. Never been a teammate of Jay Cutler. I've seen sideline footage during broadcast. I've heard reporters try and make a story out of body language. I don't know if he's a good teammate. So I'm going to have to say, I'll just put it at an average because I don't know. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. Just somewhere in the middle. Is he a good leader? I would have to say no. Again, based on what we're seeing, not because of what I'm experiencing. No inside knowledge. No interviews have been had. But the public, what's being shown, you don't see him rallying his guys. You don't see him talking people up. You don't see a lot of him going to receivers and tight ends and talking over plays. You see a lot of him sitting by himself, putting his hat on, talking with the quarterbacks, talking with the quarterback coach, unless things going right. Then he's happy. Then you might see him joking around, eating some seeds. Very similar to Cam Newton in that matter, actually. Is he a smart quarterback? Does he make good choices? Is he constantly making mental mistakes? I would say this is something that's kind of plagued him ever since Mike Shanahan left. He can go through periods where he's looking like one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and he can go through periods where it's like, what was he thinking? Is he really playing football like that? So I don't know. I don't know if I agree with Stephen A. Smith. I think what we have in the case of Jay Cutler is another Jeff George, a guy who has all the talent, all the skill set, but maybe plays the game just because he can, not because he loves it. And I think to play in the NFL, you're either there for the money, and that motivates you to do the best you can so you can get the most money, or you're there because you love it. And I think so far, teams and GMs have kind of just kept hoping that Jay Cutler was going to be what everybody saw he was under Mike Shanahan here in Denver. And he never quite I think that's where he peaked. You know,